Now let us move on to the concept of throw clause. There is also a throw statement available in Java to throw an exception explicitly and catch it. Let us see how it can be used in a program. Now I have written a program to just show how to use a throw clause for throwing the null pointer exception. So in this I have written a class, named it as of a sample. So in this sample class I have defined a method and declared of a type static type, that is static void demo. So I'm using a try block in which I'm just printing a statement as of inside a demo by using a system.out.println and throwing that exception by using a throw clause. Throw new null pointer exception data. Close the try block. Catch null pointer exception. I'm trying to catch the exception of a type null pointer exception. I'm just trying to print the message, that is details of that exception, null pointer exception in the statement system.out.println ne. Close the class block. Close the sample. So next, class throw demo, public static void main string args main method, and I'm just invoking the demo method by using class name dot demo. The reason here, why do I invoke a method by using class name? Because it is declared as of a static type. As we all know that static method should be invoked by using a class name dot method name. If the concrete methods are used, the concrete methods can be invoked by using object dot method. So now let us look at the output of this program. When you run this, you get a message stating inside a demo and an exception details java.lang.null pointer exceptions. I hope you understood the concept of throw clause. So you may have a doubt, what is the difference between throws clause and throw? The throws clause is used when the programmer does not want to handle the exception and throw it out of a method. You don't want to handle exception and throw it out of the method. But throw clause is used when the programmer wants to throw an exception explicitly and wants to handle it using catch block. See, in the throws clause, if a programmer doesn't want to handle the exception and throw it out of the method, that is the reason we will use throws clause. And when you look at it to a throw clause, he wants to handle an exception and he will throw it an exception by using explicitly and wants to handle it by using catch block. This is the difference between throws and throw. Now let us understand where exactly this throw clause will be useful. Majorly this throw clause is useful in software development, especially in software testing, in order to know whether the software tester has to certify whether the program is handling exceptions as required or as said by the programmer or not. In such situation, this throw clause will be used. In other way, a throw clause can be used to throw our own exceptions. Our own exception is nothing but a user defined exceptions. So user defined exceptions, in a minute we are going to discuss about that. So in these two ways this throw clause will be used. I hope you understood the concept of throw clause. Now let us look into the concept of types of exceptions. So there are two types of exceptions. One, built-in exception and user defined exceptions. First let us look into a first type, built-in exceptions. Built-in exceptions are the exceptions which are already available in Java. which are already available in Java. These exceptions are suitable to explain certain error situations in the program. So this slide which is displayed will give you a exception class and the respective meaning of that particular exceptions, such as arithmetic exceptions, array index out of bounds exception, class not found exceptions, file not found exception, IO exceptions, interrupted exception, no such field exceptions, no such method exceptions, null pointer exceptions, number format exception, runtime exception, string index out of bounds exceptions. So respective meaning of these classes which is given in this slide. I hope you will go through this. So next, look it into a second type of exceptions, that is user defined exception. User defined exceptions. Sometimes the built-in exceptions in Java are not able to describe certain situations. In such cases, like the built-in exceptions, the user or a programmer, like users or programmers, can also create his own exceptions, which are called user defined exceptions. So now let us look at into a program where we can understand how to write our own exceptions, that is user defined exceptions, with a sample program. To understand how to create user defined exceptions, let us understand this example. We are creating our own exception class my exception. You could see that class my exception, which is extends exceptions. See here, in order to, before understanding this program, let me tell you, we need to follow certain steps in order to create user defined exceptions. The first step or the first process is the user should create an exception class as a subclass to a exception class. This is very important. While we want to create our own exceptions, we should create an exception class as a subclass to the exception class. Since all the exceptions are the subclasses of exception class, the user should also make his class a subclass to it. I hope you understood the first step. And the second step, the user can write a default constructor in his own exception class. He can use it in case he does not want to store any exception details. If the user does not want to create an empty object to his exception class, he can eliminate writing the default constructor. This is second step. And the third step, the user can create a parameterized constructor with a string as a parameter. He can use this to store exception details. He can call superclass, that is exception class, constructor from this and send the string there. And the next step, when the user wants to raise his own exception, he should create an object to his exception class and throw it using throw clause, as we have discussed previously. So now look at into this program. As I have said it in the first step, by using the first step, I have created an exception class, named it as my exception, which extends exception class, and I'm trying to I've declared a variable array of type of a static and made it as a private and int type account number array. So in that I'm trying to store some of the elements into it, and followed by next I have declared it array, named it as of name of a type string, and I made it as a static and a private, followed by some of the elements into it. Another one, I'm just declaring a variable of a type similar array, balance array of a type double type, and static and a private, and followed by elements. So in this case I have used exception default constructor, as I have said it in the second step itself, default constructor. So in this default constructor, I am not handling, or I am not displaying any details of the exceptions. That is the reason I've just used default constructor as my exception is empty. So on the next I'm declaring a my exception constructor, that is a parameterized constructor with a parameter string str. So in this case I'm calling a super string, that is exception super class. I'm just calling it, as I have mentioned it in the third steps. The user can create a parameterized constructor with a string as a parameter. He can use this to store exception details. He can call super class constructor from this and send the string to the there itself. See, and the next I'm trying to have written a main method, and just trying to include a try block, and I'm trying to hold a create an exception over there. So system.out.println account number and customer and balance. So and the next you could see that I'm just trying to print all information, that is arrays, account number, or it may be name, or it may be balance, just using if balance of I, which is less than or equal to less than 1000, so there should be an exception, my exception. Now I'm creating a object for my exception class, my exception me, which is equals to new my exception, balance amount is less. See, you could understand this. See, when we go to ATMs and when we try to withdraw amount which is less than minimum balance, in such a situations, this program may help you to understand. See this. So it is showing that message balance amount is less. Then throw me. By using a throws class, I am just declaring this throw object in me. Close the if block, close the for loop, close the try block, and next I'm trying to catch that exception which is occurred in the try block. Catch my exception me dot print stack trace method. I've just invoked it. Close the catch block, and next close the main method, close the class. Now just look at the output of this program. So you could see that java c my exception dot java. When you run this you get the required information like this. Account number will be displayed, customer names and balance will also be displayed. So with an exception stating fifth element, that is account number 1005, with the name of the customer is Lakshmi Devi, will not be printed. See why it is not printed. So you could see that my exception balance amount is less at my exception main, my exception dot java 39. So you could understand we are throwing our own exception when the balance amount in a bank account is less than 1000, isn't it? With this example we could display this, and we created our own exception. Since there is no exception class available to describe situation where the balance amount in a bank account is less than the prescribed minimum, see, that is the reason we are throwing our own exception using a throw statement. So in such situations we could create our own exceptions. I hope you guys have understood the concept. Thank you.